Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Fate Hollow Ataraxia. According to this, we are literally exactly at 80%. So let's go to school. We're double checking if there's anything that we're missing for the new events before we start going on to them. Crazy exclamation marks. So far there have not been. Nothing here. Call it a day. We're just gonna one more time check through, make sure we're all good. It's the afternoon. How can Saber be in two places at once? That's incredible. Okay, call it a day. We're definitely... Oh, we got a new one with Fujine in the courtyard, I guess. Hello. What's going on here? We're all sitting in the living room as lunchtime draws near. Suddenly, while watching television... Is this the Tsukihime reference music again?
結婚か。いいわよね。
That's out of nowhere. Those are the words I hear. I sense a sudden and awkward tension in the air. I bet everyone feels the same way.
何、タイガー。結婚する気あったの？
Literally out of nowhere. Setting your cup of milk tea down on its saucer with a clink, Ilya says what the rest of us are thinking. Sakura then speaks up as well.
爆弾って爆発する前に一瞬だけ静かになるって本当だったんですね。もし結婚式をするならアインツビルンジを貸してあげてもいいわよ。
Yeah, but who?
もっともタイガに相手がいればの話だけど。
Yeah. Tosaka is the next to speak.
あれが爆破の瞬間ね。
相手なんているわけないでしょ。シロがだいぶしっかりしてきたからもう大丈夫かなって思ってたらいつの間にやら2人増え3人増えもはやキリツグさんちは夢の温泉宿っていうか最近は女子校がトレンドなのね。もうともかくそんな状態になっているマクツから目を離す暇なんてあるわけないじゃないのよ。
Jeez.
タイガ落ち着いてください。私に何ができるというのか。こうなっては教師として姉としてシロが人の道を踏み外さないよう真剣片手に監視するしかないと思いまして、でもそろそろ面倒いからサクッと虚勢するのも致し方なしと言いましょうか。
Wait,
我
what?
が国の伝統芸能である間引きシステムによって攻略対象を一
Sorry,
人か
hold
二
up.
人ぐらい闇に葬るのも検討中というかですね。
There's two things in there that are worrying.
セイバー、構わないからやっちゃいなさい。
なんか口にしてたら面白くなってきた。よし、やってみよう。そうよね。あれこれ考える前にまずやってみるのが正しいわ。簡単だし。
Oh, it did not look like a strong blow to me, but it sent Fujine staggering before she gently collapsed on the floor. I feel sorry for Fujine, but this was the most appropriate and fastest way of dealing with this issue. I like how Rin gave permission for
タイガ
that.
は眠っています。すみません、シロ。とっさのこととはいえ、強行手段を取ってしまった。
Like, that wasn't even permission from Shiro. That was Rin who's like, do it. Maybe residual from when Rin was Saber's master. After carrying Fujine to her room, Saber apologizes.
いや、セイバーが謝ることじゃない。あのまま放っておいたら、どんな惨劇が繰り広げられていたか。
To begin with, it was Tosaka who gave the order.
何よ。あのまま藤村先生の本能の赴くままにしておけばよかったっていうの？
She is the scariest one in this house, and she is neither historic King Arthur nor historic monster Medusa.
いや、文句はない。セイバーがやらなかったら、俺が命を賭して食い止めなくちゃいけなかったろうし。
Thinking it over, I'd say we got away with minimal damage this time.
タイガにも困ったものね。結婚したいならもっと自分本位にならないとダメなのに。人のことばっかり気にして根っからの教師なのね。
Teachers don't have time for marriage. My oh my, remarks Ilya as she puts on another pot of tea.
エミヤくん、藤村先生もらってあげれば？
No. she's a sister figure, much like another person in this room.
ダメです。
Lightning speed response. The words were out of Sakura's mouth before Tosaka could finish saying sensei, and almost seemed to leave a sonic boom in their wake.
冗談よ冗談。ほら、エミヤくんなんて驚いて固まっちゃってるじゃない。
But why would you say that?
先輩、別にそういう意味じゃないんですよ。
And what the heck does it mean is what I want to ask, but decide against delving in further.
しかしなんだよな、藤姉もさ、急に結婚とか言われてもピンとこないよな。
まあ普通はそうよね。特に私たちはそのあたりとの縁も薄いし。
She's right about that. None of the usual crowd that gathers here, has what you'd call a normal life in regards to marriage or family living. Aside from one of us who has been married. Suddenly, Sakura's eyes meet mine. Tosaka noticed. At an angle, I could see an unpleasant smile directed at me.
何言ってるのリン。あなた、神父が身元引受人だったくせに。だからって教会に住んでいたんじゃないし、別に馴染みがあるってわけでもないわ。
Sure hope not. I suppose so, although I've never seen one myself. The church is where weddings are supposed to take place in Fuyuki.
ってことは、あいつに祝福されて結婚した人たちがいたってことか。
Actually, I think that is where we got that one wallpaper of Taiga getting married, and it is in front of the church. Blacked out, huh? That sounds, how should I put this? Less like being wed and more like being judged before God. Some weird sort of Twilight Zone, maybe.
そりゃあいたわよ。ま、あんなでも神父としては火の打ちどころのないやつだったし、結婚式を挙げた人たちは満足してたと思うけど。
And I'm sure he silently cursed them under, his breath the whole time. Right. The scary thing is, aside from his personality, as a priest, that man was perfect. Well, when it comes to marriage, Kazuki-sensei in Caster's story is the closest. Does that count?
よろしいでしょうか。
Oh, is this literally going to be Saber going, I was married once?
結婚式ということでしたら、私にも経験があります。
Yeah, because you were.
挙式は城で行いましたので。
To Guinevere, right? Sakura, Tosaka, and I freeze in shock.
みんな何固まってるのよ。セイバーが結婚してたなんて当たり前のことでしょ。
Yeah.
そういえばそうだったわね。
Hey, you just have to think about it for a second. I see. Saber's legend includes a lot of facts that may or may not be true, but marriage is one that is often mentioned. Just that knowing the way it ends, it can't possibly be a good topic to bring up out of mere curiosity. Yeah, Lancelot cheated on, with Guinevere. That led to the downfall of the Round Table. Oh boy. Tosaka and Sakura seem to have the same thought as we exchange glances.
ねえ、どんな風に暮らしてたの？
Well,
あまり参考になるとは思いませんよ、イリアスフィール。それでも良いのですか？ええ、参考にする気なんてないもの。そうですか。
this is the part where not having Fujine around really helps.
式そのものは盛大なものでした。国を挙げてのものでしたから、7日ほど続いたでしょうか。
Yeah, this is a very bad litmus test for how a Fujine ceremony would go.
私と彼女、ギネビアの婚姻は、国中に祝福されたものだったと言えるでしょう。偽りとはいえ、私も男性として彼女を愛そうと誓いました。とはいえ、私は彼女の夫である前に王だった。もっとひどい言い方をするのであれば、王として彼女と結婚したとも言える。じゃあ、好きじゃなかったのに、その人と結婚したんですか？ええ、私なりに彼女に好意を抱いてはいましたが、それだけでは夫として不十分だったのでしょうね。結果として、私たちは互いを裏切ることになった。彼女が不遇の人生を送り、その名誉を汚された責任の一端は、間違いなく私にありました。
Well, if it was a loveless marriage, then Lancelot coming in and actually legitimately, romanticizing her and them having a thing, maybe it wasn't as bad. I mean, it still led to the downfall of Camelot.
それでも確かに私はできる限り男性として彼女を愛そうとしたのです。婚姻そのものは政治のためでしたが、あの結婚式の時だけは彼女の幸福を切に願えた。それは私にとっても人間として幸福な時間だったと思います。
It sounds like it was still a happy ceremony, yeah. The way she told that story was much too calm. I could not possibly understand just what kind of different emotions were mixed in there. And with that, Saber's tale comes to an end with a smile, mixed in with just a hint of loneliness. Wow. Alright, hey! What you doing in the storage room there? Perhaps I should pop into the storehouse for a moment and see how things look. All I've been doing in here lately is organizing the place, so I thought I'd try fixing some of the broken things I had set aside for a change.
シロ、ちょっとよろしいですか?
Oh, hello. Well, that's a perspective.
シロ、調子が悪いので見ていただきたいと。
Are you taller than normal?
どこか緩んでいるのか、手で押さえていてもぐらついて心もとないのです。これまでユラクのままに手荒に扱いすぎたせいなのか、少し触れただけで張りが弱くなっているようで。
You're talking about the bike, right? Oh, so this huge chest barrier was Ryder. No, that's not it.
修理って何を？無理、そんなのの修理なんて絶対無理。というか、俺がやったらダメすぎる。
He's very clearly talking about the bike, my man.
ほら、そういうことはセイバーには縁がないから。遠坂だって関係ないよな。そうだ、さくらだ。さくらが詳しくないはずがない。今こそさくらが一番頼りになるとき。ああ、もうさくらしかいない。さくらで行こう。自転車のことなのですが。
Yeah, bud pal. That's very obvious.
今、シロは忙しいのですか?
いや、さくらほどじゃないです。
涼しくなってきましたね、シロ。
Damn this height difference. Hold the phone. Fate, stay, night. There's a height chart. Shiro is literally... Unless my dude was walking around on the ground, he's the same height as her. Well, okay, well, no. Okay, that's the picture. Shiro's 176 centimeters and she's 172. So she is taller than him. But, like... Okay, so 167 centimeters, 2 feet. So he is... feet and inches, yeah. So he's 5 foot... He's 5'6". She is... 172. She is 5'7". That's not enough to be in her chest, dude. You were looking down or something. That difference doesn't work. If I were another head taller, I wouldn't have lost face in that misunderstanding. I mean, you almost lost your face into something else, you know what I'm saying? Even walking beside her is just...
そろそろシロも首元が隠れるような暖かい服を着てはどうです?
Yeah.
先ほどから吸血跡が目につい。いえ、涼しくなってきましたね。
So she does come in and suck my blood, okay. Hearing those words coming from so far above me makes me feel like a kindergartner being spoken to by a teacher. She is like an inch taller, dude. An inch. You could spike up your hair and you'd be taller. The height difference is weighing on my mind whether I like it or not. Buddy! It's... okay, the only thing is... Maybe if this is his new body from the End of Heaven's feel, it's shorter, which is a possibility, but I don't think so. Or she couldn't get taller. Why are you gonna say that? You know she has a complex.
はい。
いや、羨ましいんだ。俺ももう少し背が高ければって思ってるし。
You will get there. Eventually.
モデルみたいに凛々しいし、 いるだけで人の目を引きつける魅力もあるじゃんか。
How tall is he? He's 187 centimeters, Archer. 187. 6'1". Yeah, you'll grow to be actually tall.
しかし可愛くはありません。
That is a lie. That is a lie. You are so cute. Cute?
それには小柄であることが前提です。私にはどうしようもない。
Absolutely not. True, cute tends to be used more to praise something small, delicate. Ryder is just the opposite qualities, and that's fine. Your glasses are cute.
可愛いって思われたかったんだ。
What would a cute Ryder look like? Clutching a plushie that she always talks to, playing video games and getting so absorbed in them that she'd move along with the characters, hitting her head on the coffee table and knocking herself out, peeking at the tea cakes that Issei shared with me, saying, "Foo foo foo, what shall we do with these?" Chiron grinning ear to ear. I think all those positions are already filled. People yearn for what they do not have, and apparently even Ryder, who looks like a faultless beauty to me, is no exception. Grass is always
けど
greener.
そればかりは仕方がないよな。そうだ、逆にさ、背が高くて得したことは？
あまりないですね。
That is wrong.
例えば商店の一番上の棚にも手が届くとか、人混みの中で待ち合わせの時目印になるとか。
不利益と差し引きすればマイナスだと断言できます。
不利益？
What are the disadvantages? She has a pensive, melancholic look, as if deep in thought. Looking up at her, I get the impression that she's really distressed on the inside. Perhaps there's lots of filth I end up not seeing due to my height, but Ryder has in plain view. Even so, I'm still envious of tall people. I can forget the minor stuff and let their feelings become grand. Yeah, that's right. Climbing up to a high place makes you feel so grand you just want to yell out at the top of your lungs. Isn't that nice being in up high, by virtue of being so tall?
ヤッホー？
Yeah, huh? Who would go around yelling yoo-hoo at my age? I'll be in their right mind, that's for sure.
違う、このヤッホーは。
Ilya! I love this sprite. Coming in from high up, watch out! Flying leads to falling. That is an inevitable law of physics, and not even Ilya's above it. Oh my god. However, why is it that creatures that cannot fly in the sky always try to do so? The real reason might not be that falling is more fun than flying, or might be... She dives, keeping herself in a basic arch stance, and I execute a perfect catch. But... I couldn't cancel out the kinetic energy. In my rush to protect Ilya, I end up tumbling magnificently to the ground.
いたずらが過ぎるぞ。
Ilya seems to be alright, although my now battered body is another story.
たく、ここにはガラクタが山ほどあって危ないんだからな。崩れてきたら怪我どころじゃ済まないんだぞ。
That's why I want to be taller. I could have caught her easily just now.
シローは心配性なんだから。
I stiffen, thinking she may have gotten caught on something. I look back. The bicycle Ryder was pushing has fallen down. Ryder is frozen stiff, her arms held out in the air as if holding the handlebars.
ライダー？
She hasn't even noticed that the bicycle is down. I look over to see what might be wrong and realize that the pupils of her eyes behind her mystic eye-killing glasses aren't focusing.
ライダー、どうかしたのか？
はい、姉様。
Huh? So I was her elder sister. Come to think of it, every time Ryder's with me, she'd always consider it, stepping aside and acting with particular respect. Honestly, I don't mind her reserved demeanor, but I had been struggling to find the words to describe that kind of distance between us. I see, I was her elder sister. Like hell I am!
いえ、何でもありません、シロ。どうか 今のはなかったことにしてください。
Ryder looks around awkwardly. She's behaving really suspiciously.
そう、自転車の調子が悪いので見ていただき
I
たいと。
think it's more that she saw Ilya, who is of that stature and color scheme, and freaked out.
どこか緩んでいるのか、手で押さえていてもこの通り少しぐらついて心もとないのです。これまで由楽のまま手荒に扱いすぎたせいでしょうが、一つ四郎の手で修復をお願いします。
ああ、それはさっき聞いた。そしてそれは自転車じゃなくて猫の大好き空間スリルキャットタワー。猫が登ったり爪を研いだり用を足したりする万能ジャングルジムで、藤姉がどこからか拾ってきていつの間にか勝手にここに置いていったやつ。
The bike is still down there. As if to break through the awkward silence, the white one dives again. I can't take my eyes off this little berserker for a second. The instant the comet is... This time, the comet is heading straight for Ryder.
頼む。
はい。
She'll be fine. With her tall stature and supernatural strength, she can catch Ilya easily. How nice it is to be tall. Look, she doesn't even flinch after catching Ilya. Doesn't flinch, but...
なんで？
Dumbstruck, Ryder is turned into a statue.
ライダー？
Ryder?
ライダー怖がってる。やー
Ryder, of all people, is shrieking in terror, all the while attempting to shake off Ilya, who's clinging on to her. There are some serious psychological issues at play here, no doubt, which, of course, Ilya doesn't care about and will just continue to harass her over forever.
ダメ、シロ、早く取ってください。
失礼ね。フロイラインを毛虫みたいに扱うなんて。そんなこと言うライダーにはこうしちゃうんだから。
Hugging her neck, Ilya rubs her cheek against Ryder's face. What a strange reaction. Don't tell me there are secrets to Ryder which we are not yet aware of. I mean, I am. And I think another Shiro has. There are indeed. Now let us tell the tale of a distant foreign country. It is a dark tale tainted with fresh blood. The story of a female monster that mere mention of which makes me tremble in fear, the legend of Medusa. Oh? It takes place in a foreign land known as the Shapeless Isle. A faraway island that lies beyond the Okeanos. Known to no one but the three Grey Witches. A-E would be A. It is said that a fallen goddess that transformed into the terrible Gorgon lived there. Many warriors reached this temple shrouded in mystery. Some went to confirm the legend of the Gorgon. Others went to claim the glory of slaying the Gorgon. Some were dispatched to the island with an oracle's dazzling prophecy, yet others equipped themselves with swords, spears, bows, and arrows and traveled there with nary a word spoken to anyone else. Yet none of them still breathe. Not a single one escaped the island alive. They did not die and return to the earth either. Turned into stone alive, their lives simply ended there. The owner of Sibel, I think it's it, the mystic eyes of petrification, walks through the temple. Her hair is like silk of the Far East, her skin is white like freshly fallen snow, and yet she is drier than the desert of Nubia and more vicious than a sandstorm. She gazes at the stone statues of the petrified heroes, taking special notice of one of them, the statue of a huge man carrying a spear. His bulging sinews remind her of the great physical strength he had while he was still alive. As the temple's queen looks over the stone figure, her lips curve slightly. She raises her strange-looking dagger over her head in front of the pitiful man. Pulling the chain attached to the double-edged dagger now sticking out from the statue, she wraps it around another statue. Standing in front of the chain now stretched between two figures, she bends down to the basket at her feet and picks up a heap of laundry. No way.
これかわいい。
No. Okay. In the basket are a multitude of clothes made from expensive silk and linen decorated with laces and ribbons. She washes them all diligently, rinsing in the river and then hanging them up on chains one by one. Stoically, she labors on. Okay, so this was the graphic of her in her dream world sort of thing. But I didn't think that... Oh, okay, this was reality too. The moment it falls into her hands, a spear turns into a clothesline, a sword into a hanger, and a helmet into a shoe-drying rack. Thus, having finished hanging up the laundry, she notices a single statue casting a shadow on the clothes and proceeds to kick it down. Her work is finally completed. The owner of the Mystic Eyes looks at the statues scattered throughout the temple. She sighs listlessly. She sits down on the statue of a man trying to crawl away to escape. God, I wish that was me. Under the pleasantly warm sunlight, a dry wind breezes through her hair in the laundry. Bathed by the rays of sunlight, she gazes at the sun absent-mindedly. Right now, she is neither a goddess worshipped by many, nor a monster which shakes the earth, but a young woman enjoying the tranquility.
Medusa!
Suddenly, a voice filled with anger echoes in the temple. Not that this is a rare occurrence on this island. Seeking the glory of exterminating the Snake Witch, many people come day and night to kill her. As a result, it seems that there will be one more clothes hanger to join in this ceremony of bizarre statues. However, the owner of the Mystic Eyes, who is supposed to smack her lips at a new sacrifice, cowers as if meeting the end of the world. Appearing on top of the stairs overlooking the forest of stone statues. There she is! Is only a single girl in a dazzling outfit.
あなたはなんてことを。だって洗濯物を干すのにその錆び臭い鎖は使うなとあれほど言ったじゃないの。お許しください姉様。便利なものでつい。お黙りなさい。ああもう私の端正だった服に鎖の凹凸の跡がついて台無しじゃない。でかいあなたがバカ力で力任せにこするから汚れだけでなく神聖まで落として。いいこと？私の体を飾る衣装はあなたの粗雑な服とは違うのです。大柄だからってやることなすことずさんなんだから。
Jeez.
はい、申し訳ございません。それに私の靴、あんなブサイクな男の上に乗せるなんてどういうこと？お気に入りの靴だったのに、あれじゃあ汚らわしくてもう履けないわ。大女総見に知恵が回りかねと言うけれど、あなたと来たら品位や美意識まで欠けているようね。はい、返す言葉もございません。その服は陰干ししなきゃダメじゃない。焦っちゃってる。
They're white.
洗濯一つ満足にできないどころか服を全部ダメにしちゃうなんて。
Unless you have other outfits that we just don't see, but I don't see anything wrong with the colors fading on that.
信じられない。あなたは究極の疫病神なの？それとも最高の役立たずなの？どうなの？答えなさい、ダメデューサ。
Oh, Medusless or Da Medusa. Those are both really good puns.
それは姉様、次は気をつけますから。まだわからないようね。あなたに次なんてないのよ。ああもう私は明日から何を着ればいいの？あなたみたいに裸同然のハレンチな格好で過ごせというの？でもこの服は姉様たちの。
Well, that explains why they're so small.
何よ、文句あるの？あなたには私たちの余り物で十分でしょうに。
That definitely explains some stuff. This beautiful woman was told off completely by a girl with a height lower than her chest. It might have looked charming to an observer, but sadly, there's nobody here to watch but wordless stone statues now.
まったくどれもこれも醜いわ。女の気を引きたがるような下びた顔ばっかりで、もう眺めが最悪。男はこんな顔するようになったらおしまいね。これからは美形の男だけ石にしなさい。鑑賞価値のないここの石像は全部砕いて片付けること。今晩までに。
そんな、だってこんなにあるのに。
姉の私がやれと言ったらやるのよ。あなたは妹。この島では奴隷以下の存在なんだから。
Wow, they're kind of horrible.
あと、この前みたいに手を抜いてベルレフォンで石像を一掃するなんてのはダメよ。そんなことしたら神殿まで焼け焦げちゃうでしょ。まったく、バレなければいいだなんて誰に似たのかしら。姉様だと思うけど。
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. I wouldn't do that.
信じられない。さっきあなたは奴隷以下だと断ったばかりなのに、それをもう忘れて姉に反乱を起こすなんて。
The sad thing is, I don't even know which one this is. I don't know if this is Seth, Noah, or Urali.
そこまでは。
やっぱり物覚えの悪いあなたには絶対霊獣の態度を体で教えてあげなきゃわからないかしら。
Excuse me?
逃げるなんて許さないわよ、メデューサ。
Shaking off the restraining voice of her pursuer, the owner of the mystic eyes dashes off at full speed. She's heading for the stable. There resides her Pegasus, a gift from the god of the sea, Poseidon. She needs to get on the winged specimen of a phantasmal species and escape to the skies for a while, far away from the reaches of her sister's hands. Just then, she just has to pray that her sister's mood would change before she returns.
そうすると掃除と食事の用意が。でもあのままだったらお仕置きされて結局できないし。
She laments while fleeing away. Thanks to her long legs, her sisters couldn't catch up to her on foot. She felt gloomy at the thought that this was the only time she was ever thankful for her tall stature.
私も姉様みたいに可愛ければいいのに。
She opens the door of the stable, but the owner of the mystic eyes stands still in shock.
姉様、どうしてこちらに？
The girl holding the reins to Pegasus laughs lightly.
あら、ごめんなさいね、メデューサ。
Oh, they do have different voices, though.
ちょうど遠乗りから帰ってきたばかりで、この子は疲れ切っています。私はともかく、あなたのように大きくて重たい乗り手はもう乗せられないでしょうね。
そんな。今日は朝から休ませてあげるって。
島の外に出たいの？それなら泳いでいけばいいでしょ。
Wow!
あなたの肥えた体なら水によく浮きますもの。
Wow! You are literally meant to be Sakura's partner because both of you know exactly what it's like to grow up with a massively abusive household.
いいですか？持ち主として注意しますが、今日はこの子を使ってはいけません。
え？だってその子は私がいただいて。
困ったメデューサね。妹のものは姉のもの、姉のものは姉のものだと何度言えばわかるのでしょう。ほんとすぐ楽して私の天まで出かけようとするのはおやめなさい。悲しいわ。その物臭なところは一体誰に似たのかしら。聞こえましたよ、メデューサ。
She didn't say anything this time.
仕方ありませんね。私も本意ではありませんが、 妹が姉に背くとどうなるか体で教えて差し上げます。今度は何も言ってません。ごめんなさい。
The owner cannot help but dart out of the stable, however.
あら、私のところに戻ってくるなんて。
They do have two different
姑
voices.
息なあなたにしては殊勝な心がけね。
You can hear it.
下姉様。
あら、私がメドゥーサを捕まえてくださったの？
上姉様。
This will require some explanation. The two girls giving Medusa a hard time, each one the spitting image of the other. These two are, in fact, Medusa's older sisters. The eldest one is Stethno the Strong. The younger one is Euryale, the one who destroys Gawain in Camelot. Finally, the youngest and tallest, alike yet different, is Medusa, the woman who dominates. That is a title! These three lovely sisters were the infamous Gorgon sisters. Exiled to the Shapeless Isle, turning one brave man after another into stone, they were prominent monsters even in the world of Greece. However, as a side note to avoid any misunderstanding, it was the youngest sister, Medusa, who struck fear into the hearts of heroes. That is to say, the two older sisters could not boast of any fighting prowess at all. My dude, you don't know how good that charm status ailment is. Or rather, while they had been acquiring an entirely different ill reputation than Medusa, her sisters were revered as goddesses by the nearby men. Originally, they were ancient, indigenous gods of Greece. Nevertheless, jealous of their beauty, the goddess Athena took away their faith from the people and exiled them to the Shapeless Isle. Although only Medusa alone received Athena's ire, out of care for the younger sister, the siblings accompanied her to the Isle. Since then, rumors about them being monsters started circulating among the people. However, rumor is still only a rumor. They did not become monsters and merely continued to spend their days like before. The legendary infamous Medusa aside, the first and second daughters were literally perfected goddesses. I'm sorry, that looks like rather Avalon back there. The eldest daughter, Sethno, a lady with elegant demeanor, overflowing grace and wisdom in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal woman, I mean aside from the fact that she looks like she's 12. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man lose his senses over the rapturous feeling and swear eternal loyalty to her. The second daughter, Euryale, a lady with a carefree demeanor, overflowing smile, and the essence of purity in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal girl. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man tremble all over with honor and swear to protect her, even at the cost of his life. Unlike Medusa, the two goddesses neither had mystic eyes nor supernatural strength. With merely the power of immortality and eternal youth, they were just weak girls. Athena lied about them, that the reason they would never grow old was because they were monsters. That was false, different from the gods of Olympus who needed to consume the golden apples to stop aging. Interesting! The sisters, especially Sethno and Euryale, were born into the world as idols, completely immortal. That is an interesting word, considering Japanese culture now. They were the embodiment of the yearning hearts of men. Although they would never age, they were the weakest beings in the world. No power to fight, these immortal girls would starve if left alone. They could not live without help from others. That is the divine essence of these Gorgon sisters. From the moment they were created and up until the moment they are destroyed, they will remain the same, except the youngest, who was a failure from birth. The youngest daughter, Medusa. Different from her older sisters, she did not have the skills of a perfect goddess. The two older sisters were forever young, but Medusa's immortality was imperfect. As a result, in spite of being the younger sister, Medusa grew older and taller than her sisters, and was revered as a monster different from them altogether. As a side note, one ought to mention that she was a great goddess nonetheless. The Gorgon sisters were the results of the deification of some natural phenomena. One could call them copies or clones. It could have been a mistake during her birth, or there might have been a deeper significance to it, but the youngest sister Medusa was not copied correctly. The older sisters embodied the concept of forever young and immortal, yet Medusa received nothing of the sort. Nevertheless, as compensation, Medusa was endowed with various abilities, which her sisters were not. The mystic eyes of petrification, a supernatural ability to interfere with nature, and excellent physical abilities. All of these can be said to be divine powers indispensable in protecting her sisters who couldn't live in this world by themselves. However, it was those physical differences that caused the sisters, once united, to become three different individuals. It is not a surprising development for Medusa different from the start, but in the process of interacting with one such sibling, even the two others, who were meant to be the same, eventually showed slight irregularities. The youngest sister, an expert in combat, and her older sisters who perfected themselves as idols. Unlike Medusa, they liked humans very much. They welcomed the men who visited their island, comforted them, and sent them on a new adventure. Eternal idols, the incarnations of the image of a pure maiden. Idealized, never-aging young girls. Twin deities in a class entirely different from that of the haughty goddess with full curves. That's right, as goddesses whose purpose was just to be loved and spoiled, being cute was their specialty. The ultimate sisters whose beauty would never be matched even by Medusa's best efforts. They were the Snow White Goth Lolly idol duo. That's a sentence that I did. Okay, for Sethno and Eurali, that was the meaning of their very existence. I literally didn't see Medusa back there. Well, that's what the men, observing from afar and oblivious of their true nature, said of them. The eldest daughter, Sethno, a lady with elegant demeanor, overflowing grace and wisdom in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal woman. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man lose his senses over the rapturous feeling and swear eternal loyalty to her. However, according to a certain younger sister who wishes to remain anonymous, she would say that Sethno is the perfect example of laziness. She had not the slightest interest in things she didn't like. Worse still, this monstrous sister's cruelty towards those she had no interest in would make the watchdogs of hell tremble in fear. The second daughter, Eurali, a lady with carefree demeanor, overflowing smile, the essence of purity in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal girl, and it is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man tremble all over with honor and swear to protect her, even at the cost of his life. However, according to a certain younger sister who once again wishes to remain anonymous, she would say that Eurali was the ultimate display of mood swings. On top of that, she was sly as well. If I keep quiet, no one will be mad, and if I don't get caught, there was nothing wrong. Ho ho ho. And yet, she could feel just a little guilty later. That's the impish, cowardly second sister. Unlike Medusa, they liked humans very much. They welcomed the men who visited their island, comforted them, and sent them on a new adventure. But even that was a gigantic trap. They loved everything pretty and cute, freely and unconditionally. Indeed, these two devils did love humans. However, what they loved was not simply humans as living beings, but toying with the people they liked, embarrassing and driving them to their ruin. In short, watching them struggle. They loved it more than life itself.
姉様それは姉様たちが無条件で嫌う醜いものだと思うのですが。呆れた。取り返しのつかないほど趣味が悪いのね、メデューサ。いいこと？綺麗なものがこの上なく無様に踊る。それが本当の美しさというものよ。
Hence, many brave men became the sisters' sacrifice. The heroes who came seeking to court them were met with impossible demands and went back to their countries weeping. Alas, the terrifying, devilish three sisters. Some went to challenge the she-monster Medusa to gain fame, were petrified. Others went to seek the hands of the goddess in marriage and ended up ridiculed beyond all reason until they met their death. O brave warriors, if there were men amongst you, they shall do well to leave this place. This is the island at the utmost end of the world, an evil paradise inhabited by women of peerless beauty. Look, pal, I'm telling you for your own good, just don't ever get involved with the goddess. This island practically exists to teach you this lesson, you know? And that is the rough summary of the story behind the Temple of Darkness. A peaceful afternoon without any challengers, which was quite rare. As part of this daily ritual, Medusa is being picked on by the two older sisters again.
私からも逃げようとしてたの？ふーん。私に何をしたのか、まずは話を聞きたいわ。
Medusa is caught between the two sisters, each a spitting image of the other. Unlike Medusa, who matures slowly but surely, her older sisters remain forever the same. Since the basics of the personalities are the same, they sense the same things as well. Far surpassing telepathy, they are more like two parts of the same body, each of them feeling everything the other does.
そう。私に逆らったのね。あなた。私に2度も逆らったことになるわね。ええ。私への侮辱は私への侮辱だから。じゃあ、私と私がお仕置きをしてあげないと。もちろん、妹をしつけるのは姉の義務であり、権利であり、有楽だもの。
Solemnly, Urali turns to a statue standing beside Medusa, a slim and tall warrior raising a huge sword overhead.
顔もまあまあ整ってるし、これがいいかしら。
Holding onto the man's armor, she pulls himself up with all her strength as if trying to tear the pieces off.
下姉様
Flexing her short limbs, Urali steadily climbs up the man's body.
下姉様危ないからやめないと。
メドゥーサ、これはお仕置きです。
Is it going to be a
あ
flying
なたは
tackle?
動かないように。
はい。
Like a slithering serpent, with slow and steady movement, she flows towards the top of the statue. Not able to take her eyes off of Urali, Medusa feels as if all of her own limbs are entangled by a snake, unable to even twitch.
絶景絶景。誰かを見下ろすっていうのはこんなに気持ちがいいものなのね。ええ。浅はかなメドゥーサが増長するのもやる方ないのかもしれません。
では私はお許しいただけるのでしょうか。
メデューサ、物覚えの悪いあなたのことだからもう一度だけ命令してあげるわ。いい？絶対に避けちゃダメよ。
Her small body dances in the air, which is hardly surprising given that she is Urali the Far Flyer. The flying goddess leaps towards Medusa's snow-white neck, grins wide, opens her mouth and bares her fangs, and then delivers an evil kiss. Oof. A battle cry that punches through the skin and pierces the blood vessels below. The sweet music of okay. The sweet music of smacking lips, a dancing tongue, and slurping oh no. And then a blood-curdling scream from Medusa. One wonders what those who came to know of her later would think if they saw this. Preying not on individuals, but on an entire city, the demon Medusa sucked the blood of hundreds of people in one night. To think that she was being treated the same by this cute little girl.
下姉様、痛いです。あとくすぐったい。いい邪魔。妹の分際で姉を見下ろしているのが気に入らなかったのよ。
The tall woman trembles in fear, and the cute little girl clings onto her tightly.
私だけというのは片手落ちかしらね。
Stethno, from the back of her Pegasus, licks her lips.
おとなしくしなさい、メドゥーサ。痛いのは抵抗するからですよ。上姉様。
Her blood plundered from both sides of her nape. Medusa's entranced, standing stock still. Like an endless bout of anemia, it is no longer screams that she lets out. The noises now resemble the creaking of some old broken mechanism.
妹ってなんてグズで横着で短慮でボンクラのくせになんて しだけはこんなに美味しいのかしら。お許しください、お姉様。
The two sucking sounds. Oh my god. The two sucking sounds weave with each other in melodious harmony, echoing within the temple. Part of the daily ritual, the youngest sister is being disciplined by the mean sisters today. It shall be said again, that is not a rare occurrence on this island. Yeah, no, makes sense now. Yeah, no, makes sense now. As I come to, I find myself at the storehouse. Sunlight is now considerably lower. Has it been a whole hour already?
変だな。何してたんだっけ、俺たち。
You've been weirdly spirit melding with Medusa, which is strange. Tilt my head.
何って、私はシロとライダーが土蔵に入ったからこっそり後をつけて。あれ？
Ilya also tilts her head. Ryder frowns deeply.
どうしたライダー、頭痛かというか、どうしてたんだっけ俺。
いえ、特別なことは何も。単にシロがもう少し背が高ければいいという希望を口にしていただけです。
ああ。
I clap my hands together. Yeah, we did talk about something like that, didn't we? However, if that's the case, then what is bike number 2 doing at Ryder's feet?
ライダー、その転がってる2号のことだけど。
さあ、2号車がなぜここに放置されているか私は全く感知していませんから。そうですよね、シロ。
ああ、そうだよな。ライダーはここに立ち寄っただけだもんな。
Oops.
2号は
Sometimes my finger just clicks. Despite my mind still being a bit foggy up to that point, with Ryder's gaze fixed on me, I start to feel like there's nothing else to it.
ええ、きっとシロがこれから修理するために持ってきたのでしょう。私からの要求はありませんが、メンテナンスをするというのならペダル周りとフレームの強化をしてください。それでは私はこれで失礼します。それとイリアスフィール、元気なのは微笑ましいのですが、あなたのような幼い少女には高いところは似合いません。似合いませんので、間違っても土蔵の2階からダイブだけはしないように。
変なライダー。私頼まれたってそんなことしないのに。
結構です。イリアスフィールは物分かりが良くていい。それでは夕食に。
Flashing an adult-like smile, Ryder leaves the storehouse. Fascinated by the back of the cool, adult-like figure, I see her off in a daze. Did she just bonk her? Oh. The stylish woman hits her head and crouches down in pain.
ライダー、
ご心配なく。それとシロ、このように背が高くていいことなどあまりないのです。
I love how humanizing they are for these characters that are, you know, servants. They make mistakes like bonking their head. Tottering, that's a good word. Ryder disappears towards the courtyard. I see. Being tall is unexpectedly troublesome, huh? Yeah, but you're tall. You won't get called a manlet online. Oh, this is new. Ryder's room at night. What's going on here? As I passed by Ryder's room, I heard voices from inside.
なんだけど、これはどう？
ですが。
Inside, it's Ryder and Sakura. It's not strange to see them in one another's room, given how friendly their master-servant relationship is, but something is different about the enthusiasm in this conversation.
なのですが、私は。
もう、そんなこと言ってたらライダーも。
From what I've seen, Ryder is usually the more assertive one of the two, while Sakura is more passive. But now Sakura is more eager, while Ryder sounds more hesitant.
おや、そこにいるのはシロですか？
As expected of Ryder, the thin, sliding door may well as not even be here. Her voice was unusually stiff and formal. Maybe she's feeling a bit self-conscious with Sakura there?
ああ、悪いな。通りがかりで声が聞こえちまった。すぐ行くから勘弁な。
ちょうどいいところに先輩も来てください。さくら？
Sakura calls me into the room. Strangely, Ryder seems to be very troubled.
中に入ってもいいのか？
さくら、これは先輩だってきっと私と同じ意見のはずだから。ね、ライダー？
In response, I hear a sigh that is strangely filled with resignation. I feel like it would be bad to intrude, but turning down the invitation would be even worse.
お茶でも入れて持ってこようか？
いえ、お気遣いだけで結構です。じゃあ、私が入れてきますね、先輩。
The door slides open and Sakura steps out. She's smiling brightly, in sharp contrast to Ryder, who is wearing a grim expression inside the room.
紅茶でいいですよね。
それなら、お茶受けはいつものところにあったはずだ。いってらっしゃい。
After nodding, Sakura disappears down the hall. Now then, sure enough, I'm still worried about whether or not waiting in Ryder's room is a good idea.
入っていいか、ライダー。
Ryder nods. A gloomy welcome. Something seems off. Strange to see Ryder look so troubled after speaking with Sakura. The reason for that soon has become apparent as soon as I enter the room. There are fashion magazines spread open around the cushions that Sakura and Ryder were sitting on. Ryder is seated in the center of them, like a toad surrounded by mirrors. She looks like she hasn't slept a wink all night. That was a terrible analogy. That was.
これがどうかしたのか？
I pick one up. The model was a beauty, but frankly speaking, the Ryder in front of me was better in terms of raw material. However, the purpose of this kind of magazine is probably to look at the clothes instead of the models themselves.
困りました、シロ。
ライダーがさくら相手に困るのも珍しいな。
Is Sakura trying to get you to do a modeling job?
さくらが私に。いえ、大したことはないと言えばないのです。
Like, why not? You are perfect for it. Ryder replies evasively, but I'm somehow able to piece together what had happened. It was Sakura, not Ryder, who brought these magazines, so it's only natural to assume things would turn out like this.
さくらがいろいろと？
はい。
I understand what she's trying to say. Sakura brought these magazines and catalogs and probably started asking which outfits suited Ryder. Of course, she was also looking for which suited herself just as much. Before long, Sakura's main objective shifted to Ryder.
そうですよ。ライダーったらもうちょっと女の子っぽくしてもいいのに。
Heavy disagree. Love the jeans. Love a woman who wears pants. Sakura turned at that moment. She hands out the teacups, but Ryder sinks into silence like usual.
先輩もそう思いませんか？
まあ、そう思わなくもないけど。
Sakura's concerned about how Ryder dresses. I can certainly see why. She may look nice dressed in jeans, but I certainly can't help but think what a waste it was when she is such a nice figure. You can see so much more with jeans and a turtleneck, my man. You see way more of it. The feeling I get from her is a little different from Sakura, whose charms are enough to even overwhelm me at times. Ryder's style is also different from those of the tidy Saber and Grand Tosaka.
だからライダーももっと可愛い格好をすれば似合うんです。
I think
こんな風に。
she rocks this look more than anyone else. Personally, saying that, Sakura holds out a magazine in front of me. Let's see, what are you looking at? The page shows a skirt-wearing figure that makes me think, yeah, this model is cute. I visualize Ryder wearing this. The person in front of me that's being dressed inside my mind clearly looks troubled. I imagine Ryder in this kind of outfit, but at the same time, the image of a bewildered Ryder being forced into wearing something that doesn't belong on her floats into my mind.
でもライダーったら全然乗り気じゃないんですよ。どう思います、先輩？
I think I understand their conversation from earlier now. If Ryder is this unmotivated, then that talk was probably going nowhere fast.
なるほど。
I also understand why Sakura invited me to help support her. I understand, but
どう思うと言われてもな。
セイバーさんは姉さんが着せ替えていろいろ面白そうなのに。彼女は可憐ですから。私とは違う。
yeah, You're cute in your own way, but I also think, yeah, you definitely go for more of the cool vibe. Ryder replies sullenly. Cute unlike me. Sakura and I exchange glances, just at hearing the tone of those words.
確かにセイバーは可愛いけどライダーも綺麗だぞ。
セイバーさんに似合うのはこの辺じゃないかって思うんですけど、でもこういうのはライダーにはちょっと違いますよね。
Sakura shows us a page with a one-piece dress adorned with many frills and ribbons. Like, yeah, in my mind, yep, that works on Saber. Not so much Ryder. It would look good on Saber, but it really doesn't suit someone like Ryder.
確かに。でもこっちだと似合いそうだぞ。
本当ですね。いいですね。かっこいいな。
Sakura gazes blissfully at the formal black suit displayed on the same page. Well, we do know that looks good on Saber, but I think it looked even cooler on Ryder. Because Ryder is tall and has such well-defined limbs, a smart outfit like this really stands out.
私がこういうのを着てもきっと新入社員の面接みたいだって言われちゃいそう。
ライダーならやり手の社長秘書って感じだよな。うん。
Ryder is obviously embarrassed. As if nearing her limit, she speaks softly while sipping her tea.
私は可愛くありませんから。ここまで背が高くてはどうにも。
Looks like Ryder's really sensitive about that. It's true she really is taller than the average woman in Japan, but I don't think that's enough to declare herself ugly.
そんなことないですよね、先輩。ライダーは可愛いですよね。
Yeah.
綺麗というか可愛いというか、とにかく可愛くないなんてことはない。
大女ですよ、私は。古来よりこんなに背が高くて力持ちな女が可愛らしいなどという話はありません。
They're not cute, but I want them to snap me in half like a $1 store toothpick. That's a really expensive toothpick. Ryder keeps stubbornly denying her cuteness, but I also think that stubborn way she acts just makes her cute all the more. I'm starting to understand why Sakura had been encouraging Ryder to try new types of clothes.
そうかな。ちゃんと似合うのにな。
そもそも私の服はサイズが合えばいいのです。さくらにそこまで気を使っていただかなくてもよろしいのですが。
With this, the conversation is concluded, or so it would seem that Ryder was trying to communicate. However, both Sakura and I feel like bullying her a little longer, or at least somehow I feel that way. Eye contact successful.
ねえ、先輩。今度一緒にライダーのお洋服選びに行きませんか？
ああ、俺でいいのなら喜んで。
Ryder gazes in shock as the two of us casually reach an agreement. While Ryder is stunned into silence, Sakura and I keep talking.
どこがいいかな。俺そういうのはあまり詳しくないんだけど。
あ、シントのベルデの中にいろいろありますから、そこで選びましょう。秋冬物ももう揃ってますし、私も選びたいのもありますから。
いえ、
もちろんライダーが主役だから、ちゃんと先輩のお眼鏡にかなう可愛いのを見つけちゃいます。だからライダーもね。
Ne? Ryder winces at Sakura's emphasis on the last word, looking as though cornered in a match. And then she looks at me
いい
pleadingly.
んじゃないか。たまには3人で買い物に出かけよう。
Checkmate. If it's just Ryder and I, she would refuse immediately. But since Sakura's involved as well, she can't refuse.
そこまでさくらやシロに言われては仕方ありません。ふつつかながらお供させていただきます。
やったー！先輩、今度一緒に行きましょうね。
Sakura is overjoyed, while Ryder seems to have been resigned to her fate. In any case, it looks like I've made a promise to go out with Sakura and Ryder. Sorry, Ryder, but I want to do this because Sakura's in such high spirits, so it doesn't really feel like I'm forcing Ryder to do something unpleasant.
しかし俺責任重大だな。ライダーに似合う可愛いものを選ばなきゃいけないんだから。
大丈夫です。ライダーだったら何でも似合います。こんなにスタイルがいいんですから。 私も羨ましいくらいです。
そうはおっしゃいますが、さくらは私が及ばないほど可愛いではないですか。保証しますよ。シロだってそう思っているに違いありません。
Sakura is thrown off by Ryder's words. Isn't changing the topic like that foul play? Seems that Sakura is angry with me.
そんなことないですよね、先輩。
ないわけはないだろう。だってさくらは
There's no winning choice. There's no winning choice. This is literally an unwinnable situation. Ryder was toyed with until the last minute. It seems like she's recovered a bit of her mood now. Peeking out close for Ryder, huh? I'm not really cut out for that kind of thing, but I am interested in the results.
さて、そろそろ飲まないとせっかく入れてもらったお茶が冷めます。
もう先輩もライダーも。
Ho ho ho. Made a promise to go on a date with Sakura. Alright, it can be oh, so it's another one for those events. Got it. Sounds good. Last day. Wow, we got 2 events there. Oh wow, we're getting a whole bunch more. So Big Bridge is an important one with you, huh? For the shopping district there. Well, that's going to be a long one, so let's do this first. We've just finished our lunch. As I relax with a cup of tea.
ところで、私が留守にしている間、何か面白いことなかった？
Yeah? All of a sudden, a question comes up.
特にはってさくらの手紙に書いてなかったか？
すごく長いエミヤくんの口述筆記があっただけよ。あの子はみんな元気ですって書いてたけど、そういうのは社交辞令じゃないの。
You know, I mean, aside from the situation here, everything went fine. I see. Whatever actually happened, Sakura would want Tosaka to worry, and that consideration went into her letter. Looks like Tosaka knows that too.
さくらが体調を崩したことがあったみたいだけど、手紙には書いてなかったからね。それで気になったのよ。
ああ、そうか。さくらはちょっと風邪ひいたけど、後の面々は無病息災。藤姉に風邪が寄りついたのを見たことはないし。
It brings to mind the adage about how idiots don't catch colds, but rather than that, it's more like the discipline she subjects herself to every day is on an entirely different level.
セイバーとライダーは調子崩すということがあるのかどうかって感じだな。特にセイバーは元気だぞ。天高く馬こゆる秋ってことで。
さくらと一緒に食欲の秋？
秋口に食いだめして冬場に冬眠するんじゃないのかと思うほどよく食べる。
As the one who has to prepare the food for them, it's quite troubling. Well, even I am bound to have times when I worry about how much rice I have to cook. Thankfully, that's the easiest thing to
い
cook.
くらセイバーの因子に粒子があると言っても、冬場にねぐらで冬眠はしないわよ。
粒子？
She used a term I've never heard before, and it brings a puzzled frown to my face.
あれ？エミヤくん知らなかったの？
She is programmed in Grand Order as Dragon type.
セイバーを構成する因子の一つは幻想種の頂上、粒子よ。
いや、それは知ってる。セイバーと竜は同じようなものだってことだろ？
Actually, you could say that it's the only thing I know.
エミヤくんは竜というと何を想像する？
Oh, are we gonna do the difference between a Japanese and English dragon? Out of all the creatures in fantasy, the dragon is undoubtedly the one at the top, or so I've heard.
とにかく人間じゃ太刀打ちできない動物の王様かな。火を吹く、トカゲっぽい目をしてる、ヒゲや牙が生えてる、空を飛ぶ、乙女の生贄を所望するとか。
Usually whiskers and tusks are not on European dragons.
全部セイバーに当てはまったら面白そうね。
否定できないな。藤姉がおやつを横取りなんかしたら怒って火を吹きかねん。
相変わらずそういうことやってるのね。藤村先生の方も一回因子分析した方がいいのかも。妖精でも出てくるかしらね。
Were she actually to do that, I don't think I'd be brave enough to look at the results. Back to the main topic.
あと光り物や金貨を溜め込む。
竜の巣穴の財宝炭、それがあるからこそ竜は幻想種足りえるんだけど、 セイバーって貯金が趣味？
どうかな。節制とか節約とか好きそうだから当たらずとも遠からずって感じだけど。
I don't think that's what dragons hordes are like, my man. But even if she has that inner disposition, I doubt she'd actually bother to start actually saving.
他には海に1000年山に1000年住んでいる。
That
長江を遡って登竜門に上がる。
that is 100% Japanese dragons.
雲上竜変？今度は東洋の竜？
Yeah.
獣の王様と獣の神様じゃ微妙に違うけどな。竜で他の言い伝えはと。
ちゃんとセイバーは爪が5本あるわよ。王様だから。
I was about to say that. 5 dragon claws were the symbol of the emperor in many Chinese dynasties, after all. What else? Oh, yeah.
これも東洋の竜の話だけど、曰く竜には逆鱗がある。
There's always a single scale growing backwards on the dragon's body. Legend says that if you happen to touch it, no matter how gentle the dragon may be, he will lose himself in a rage.
あら、それならセイバーにもありそうだけど。
Is it going to be her a Hoge? I'm let down by her all too quick reply. Holding the teacup in my hands, I keep staring at Tosaka.
セイバーはあれほどいいとこ取りなんだから、逆鱗ぐらいは受け継いでもらわないと。アキレスのかかとじゃないけど、それぐらいないとバランス悪いでしょ。
アキレスのかかとは弱点だろ。逆鱗はどっちかっていうと欠点というか短所というか。
欠点も短所も弱点も同じよ。私が言ってるバランスはセイバー本人のバランスじゃなくて自然界全体のバランスのこと。永遠に衰えない完全無欠な存在がいたら循環が滞るでしょ。みんなより強いものにはどこかにみんなより足りない部分が存在するのよ。
They're going really deep, and it's going to be her a Hoge, isn't it?
なるほど。例えばそれは
Someone who can master just about everything will stumble upon the very last hurdle, making a big mess.
ちょっと何よいきなり黙り込んで。何か言いたいことでもあるの？
いや別に遠坂はよくわかってるなと思って。にしても逆鱗か。
Does Saber really have one? She does, and I just happen to brush up against it in public. Is that what would happen? I love these doodles. They have figures of all the doodle versions of the characters, and I kind of want them, but they're also like really expensive. Uh-oh. Somehow it looks kind of fun. Oh, buddy.
どうしたのエミヤ君？
Sub-Shiro, Sub-Shiro.
遠くを眺めて。何か面白いことでも思いついた？
いや別にそんなことは。
I covered up by drinking some tea. This is bad, real bad. I've been corrupted by Tosaka's malice, finding ways to tease and make fun of Saber. What was I thinking?
首の後ろが怪しいと思うわ。
何の話をしてんだお前は。
別に今のは個人的な意見だからエミヤ君はこれっぽっちも気にしないでいいわよ。あと裏枠として背中を押さえておくわ。
だから何の話だそれは。
Beats me, Tosaka feigns ignorance as she stands up.
じゃあ私はこれで。全然関係ないけど心中察するわエミヤ君。マスターたるものサーバントの管理はしっかりしておかないといけないものね。それが危険を招くようならどんなに嫌なことでも調べないといけないんだから。
See ya! Tosaka disappears in the hallway with a spring into her steps. Master's duty, is it? I was only a bit curious about this Gekurin business, but she's right. Perhaps I should investigate it a little further.
シロ、部屋に戻るのですか？
だってセイバ
What great timing! Speak of the devil, Saber. It's right there! Single scale growing backwards, Gekurin. So somewhere around her, there's a spot that will land me into hot soup if I touch it.
どうしたのですか？顔色がよろしくない。
ー悪いちょっと考え事をしてた。
I can't. It's gotten into my head and it's no use pulling the brakes on it now. Look at this graphic. Oh my god. Does Saber have a Gekurin? And what is it really? I can't let it go until I find out.
ちょっといいか、セイバ
はい、シロ。
ー。シャツの襟歪んでる。
I reached for Saber's neck. My fingers gently touched her silky white skin.
シロ。
動かないでくれ。変な風になってるんだ。
Saying that, I caressed Saber's neck. I can't feel anything out of place with my fingers. They say the Gekkarin grows on the underside of a dragon's chin, but I guess it's not there.
首の後ろが怪しいと思うわ。
Today, duty day. I refrain from any further remarks.
シロ
What does duty day mean?
襟は
もう少し。リボンも少し歪んでるような。
Using straightening her already straight ribbon as an excuse, I touch her nape. I gently brush the loosely hanging hair beneath her neck, and my heartbeat rises for no apparent reason. I am just looking for Saber's Gekkarin, so I don't have to feel guilty, do I? Sorry, teacher, there's no Gekkarin in sight. My sanity won't hold much longer either. Oh my god, that sprite. What is that sprite?
では背中を狙うがよい。水攻めが効かぬのなら火攻めでありましょう。
Wow, she had anticipated this way ahead of time. My eternal gratitude to you, O Grandmaster. Zoo Ring. Rin. That pun. This reference. Oh my god.
シロ、いけません。このようなところでそれは。
I get closer to her and graze her standing hair with my face.
この
This thing is in my way. To touch her back, I calmly brush it aside.
あれ
Her standing hair. Did he mean the ahoge? For some reason, I am lying on my back facing upwards.
しまった。大丈夫ですか、シロ。
I silently assess the damage. Having landed the right way, there are no injuries.
申し訳ありません。反射的に。
セイバーが投げたのか。
はい。シロの腕を取って、こうランサー張りに力任せにぶん投げてしまいました。
I see it now. It was a 6-meter mega glide from the veranda to down here.
先にこのことを伝えておくべきでした。不注意で癖が出てしまい、シロに怪我を。
怪我はないけど、
Being touched by a man, she became embarrassed and flung me away. No, that's not it. The moment I brushed that one strand of hair aside, I was instantly hurled away as if activating a conditioned reflex.
立てますか？手を。
It is the ahoge.
それくらいは大丈夫。伝えておくことって、何？
この癖毛のことなのです。
It's the ahoge backstory.
それに触られたくない？
Saber nods deeply. I've taken a fancy to that strand since a long time ago, but it looks like it's important to her as well.
長い話になるのですが。
わかった。縁側に戻ろう。やっぱり地面への受け身は答えるな。
あれはまだ私が王国を統一する前のことでした。
Oh my god, the ahoge backstory is gonna be deep.
私の即位に反対する諸侯との戦いを繰り広げていた頃です。死である老人の助言や湖の婦人の加護、それに勇猛にして忠誠なる騎士たちを従えて王国と民のために戦場を往来しました。
Okay, but old man Merlin? I don't know about that.
私に敵対した11人の王だが、その王たちも別の強大な国王に膝を屈したのです。王の名はリエンス。弟のネロと共に北方に歯を唱える強国の主でした。
Nero? I'm going to assume no relation to Nero Claudius, of course. Ah, I know this story. Is the one about the famous King Rience and his robe?
リエンス王の使者が我が王宮に至ると、
Okay, who?
傲慢にもこう言い放ったのです。
Okay, who is King Rience? King Rience. Is a character of Arthurian legend and an enemy of King Arthur in his early years. Okay. He's notable for his habit of trimming his robe with the beard of 11 kings he's conquered. He wants Arthur's for a complete 12. Okay. Alright, okay, interesting. The great King Reince has conquered 11 kings, exacted oaths of fealty from them, cut their beards, and used them as decorations for his robe. With the last beard, his robe will be complete. King Arthur, hand over your beard and swear undying loyalty to the king, or else you shall perish and your entire kingdom shall be destroyed. You don't have a beard. As I thought. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Saber can't grow a beard, you see.
私はこう死者に言い返しました。残念ながら私にヒゲはなく、ましてやリエンス王におる膝は持ち合わせていない。
Kind of a dope thing to say, though.
いや、遠からず必ずリエンス王こそ私に膝を折らせ、そのヒゲのみならず首を落としてみせようと。
Yep, that's definitely Saber. After being told off like that, King Reince would have no choice but to return quietly.
リエンス王はこの返事を聞くと激怒しました。そして死者が見た私の姿を伝え聞くとこう言い放ったそうです。
How haughty you are, O King Arthur! Now I shall shave off that hair standing on your head and use it to adorn my robe. Hold on, isn't it just the beards he was after?
ちょっと待った。なんだよそのくせ毛って。何、もしかしてそのくせ毛のことか。
当然でしょう。リエンス王が欲しがるほどのものが他にありますか。シロ、つまらない疑問で話の腰を折らないでください。これからがいいところなのですから。
すまん、気が利かなかった。
The Ahoge has lore.
わかればいいのです。さて、それからの戦いは言うなれば私のくせ毛を守れるか否かといった様相を呈してきました。次来手向かう敵は必ず私のくせ毛を長老し、切り落とすだの、結び目を作るだの、リボンを飾るだの、上にお花を咲かせるだのと挑発するのです。故に私は王国のためくせ毛を守り抜かねばならなかったのです。戦いは熾烈を極めましたが、ついには我が威信の勝利と終わりました。以来私のくせ毛は王国の名誉の象徴となり、私の首と同じほどに重要なものになったのです。ええ、たとえ王妃といえどくせ毛に触れることは許されないほどのものに。
Wow.
わかりましたか、シロ。このような事情があるので私のくせ毛には触らないでいただきたいのです。
Ahem, Saber says so proudly. Let me see, I was tossed into the air and landed unconscious just now, right?
どうしました、シロ。
じゃあ質問。戦いはセイバーの勝利に終わったんだよな。なら仕返しにリエンス王のヒゲを剃ったりしたのか。
かの王は囚われの身となり、私は首を打とうとしたのですが死に止められました。あだにあだで報いては恨みを深めるだけ。首に首を、ヒゲをヒゲで報いてはなりませんと。故に死の言う通りに。
言う通りに。
魔術による気配薬を用い、リエンス王はもみあげと口ひげを、弟のネロは両眉毛をつなげるだけで許しました。
Ooh, that's rough.
鏡を見るたびに己の高原が高くついたことを思い出すがよいと。
You can call it a bloodless victory, but it's still a very childish solution. Poor King Reince and his brother Nero must have made it to laughingstocks for the rest of their lives.
なるほど。セイバーのくせ毛にはそんな歴史があったのか。
Me neither.
ええ、ですので昔の癖でとっさに。申し訳ありません。
いいよいいよ。悪いのはこっちなんだし。
I mean, it's my mistake for carelessly intruding on such a history-laden, sensitive spot.
ご理解感謝します。さらに言えば、女性の髪は魔術的な力の象徴でもある。不用心に髪を奪われれば、呪詛のよりしろとして使われることもあるのです。王が呪われれば、王国の災いを意味し、それゆえに、このくせ毛は二重の弱点と言えましょう。
Wow, okay. I see. This is grave indeed. Wait a second. If that's where Saber's weakness is, then don't tell me that.
シロ。
Hearing my name being called, I look up. Huh? Why does Saber look so grim?
先ほどは襟を直していただきましたが、どうしてか私の首筋をしきりに撫でていましたね。
So that wasn't a very good excuse, was it?
さらにはうなじまで。シロ、あれは一体どういう意味の行為だったのでしょうか？
いや、なんでもないぞ、セイバー。少し目測を誤っただけなんだ。
Well, it wasn't really my hand, but my morals slipped first.
ほう。シロは何でもないのに、女性の首筋を撫で回すのですか？
いや、ほら、本当に何もないんだって。そうだ、お茶とお茶菓子を持ってくるから、縁側でゆっくりとだな。
お待ちください。シロ、もう一度、私の目をよく見て答えていただきたいのです。
Oh no, no. I have a foreboding of certain doom. Don't tell me that Saber's immune to the allure of afternoon snacks.
シロ、目をそらし黙っていては、私もあらぬ疑いを持ってしまう。さあ、なぜあのようなことをしたのか、教えてください。
The intimidating atmosphere, having developed a tinge of bloodlust, is threatening to suffocate me. Looks like I'm stuck. Oh, Master Zhu Ring, I do not know what to do. I don't think I can escape even if I tried. Looks like I have to answer her honestly. This is Zhu Ring is so deep. Like, I know this came first, but holy crap. Does this tie into the franchise in such an amazing way?
なんだ。逆鱗を探してたんだ。
逆鱗？
いや、セイバーって竜種だから、体のどこかに逆鱗が生えてるのかって思って。
I steal a glance at Saber. An icy look.
なるほど。鱗ですか。
An icy cold voice.
そうなんだ。
It's a metaphor.
言い伝えでは、触られると竜は激怒するらしい。
Feeling awkward, I try to avert my gaze, but I can't. I think I'll see sparks fly off her any moment now. Here she comes.
シロー！
はい。
あなたは私を何だと思っているのです。騎士であり剣士である私を捕まえて鱗が生えている方は無礼にも程があります。このような侮辱を受ければ赤日には手袋を投げて決闘しかないというほどの。
I think she's playing. Her body is shaking. She's mad like never before. I think she's playing.
それに私が竜種というのはどのような誤解でしょう。竜種の因子こそ受け継いでいますが、彼らと私を一緒くたに扱うというのは無知無理解の限りです。マスターがこのような履き違いをしているとは嘆かわしい。
A storm rages on. Alas, so this is how I'll meet my end, killed while being scolded. Dizziness assails me.
諦めなさるな。まだ生存のチャンスはありますぞ、エミヤ殿。
No way. I'm still seeing these nasty illusions even now.
さらに人に面白おかしい特徴を見込むなどと一体どうしたのですか。シローにあるまじき行いです。大体ですね、触れれば表変するシンボルなどと言いますが、私にそのような暗黒面があるとでも思っているのですか。私には隠し持った本性などない。それは素人でよく知っているでしょうに。
Saber's tension keeps rising with no limit in sight. At this rate, it won't be long before I'm kneeling for 10 hours straight, forced to prepare a Manchu Han Imperial Feast, the grandest meal taken over 3 days and 3 nights for all attendees at once. Do we have a way out of this bind, O Grandmaster?
しかり、敵は勢いに乗ってちょ突猛進。背後の守りがおろそかになっております。
Is Rin gonna come and grab her?
孫子曰く、戦いとは生をもって愛、火をもって勝つ。なんつうか、これを倒そうと欲するなら必ずこれをしばらく強くするべしみたいな。
Is she saying for me to, for Sheer to grab it? Wait, Grandmaster. No, you're the reason behind this mess.
聞いているのですか、シロー。
はい。
聞いているのでしたら訂正していただきたい。私の体に鱗が生えているという考えは誤りであり、私には一切の暗黒面はないと。今後一切そのような妄想は抱かな。
Oh.
エミヤ君に気を取られすぎたわね、セイバー。面白いぐらい背中がガラ空きだったわよ。
何をするのです。悪ふざけはほどほどにして。
そうはいかないわ。エミヤ君、最後のチャンスよ。 さあセイバーの逆鱗はどこでしょ
I see, her Gekrin is her weakness, so I have to just imagine being a monkey after... I just have to imagine a monkey being exhausted after having its tail cut. What? Okay.
言うまでもない。セイバーの逆鱗は
The next instant I stretch out my hand.
ダメだいけないしろ
ういけいけセイバーの弱ったところを見てみたい
Encouraged by the irresponsible cheer, my left hand grasps victory. I firmly seize the golden strand of her hair. This feels bad after that story. At that moment, an ominous chill courses through my body, as if the entire house turned into a freezer. No, this is no mere chill. This is the sound of Excalibur being released!
うわーセイバー
The commoners are being blown away. God was here. He made sure to deliver divine punishment and departed like the wind. I gingerly lift my body. Thanks to Sok's mischief, I was flung into the air again.
思いっきり腰打ったひどいとばっちりよなんだって私がこんな目に
どの面下げてそういうこと言うかな。遠坂の場合どう見ても自業自得だ。
And successfully tricked me into becoming your accomplice.
何よちゃんと目的は達成できたんだからいいじゃないこの様子からしてセイバーの逆鱗は間違いなくあのくせ毛って分かったんだから
That's how it ended up being. Saber vehemently denied having anything like a Gekkerin, or flying off the handle because of it. But it turned out to be exactly that.
けど弱点っていうには遠いような。というかだな。逆鱗は本人にとっては短所であるが、俺たちにとっては最悪の長所なのではあるまいか。
Saber actually blew both of us away indiscriminately.
いいのよそれでセイバーが最優である理由の一つはあの冷静さよそれがなくなってイライラしっぱなしっていうならいくらでも付け入る隙が出てくるじゃない
Yeah, looks like she's itching to take Saber head on.
そうか。だから赤かったんだな、遠坂。
何よ私が赤いと得するの
3 times speed and more attack.
俺が得するというよりは遠坂が損する。と、そうなるとセイバーが突進してきそうなものなんだが、セイバーおとなしいな。
そういえばそうねてっきりエミヤ君を捕まえてお叱りモードだと思ったのにまあエミヤ君は触っただけだしセイバーの逆鱗は瞬間的なものなのかしら
That'd be fortunate of us. It's great that we found the spot we were looking for, but I don't think I could bear with her raging on for the entire day just because her hair was touched. She'd be switched from Saber to Berserker class.
そうだよな。あのセイバーがずっと怒ってるなんていくらなんでも。
I can't imagine it. Such a king exists, and I really pity the people working for him.
結論も出たところで戻るか。セイバーも怒ってるだろうし、ちゃんと謝罪しないとな。遠坂、二人でセイバーに謝るんだぞ。
はいはいちゃんと分かってますよだ
Her rage may have subsided, but her feelings are still hurt, I'm sure. I have to make an honest apology and swear not to touch Saber's curly hair in jest ever again.
おい、セイバー。
I call out to her. Saber responds calmly.
何か用ですか、シロ。
Oh! Well, for one, that's interesting because that's the uncorrupted armor. Her dark side is... The corridor distorts around her. A suppressed killing intent. Her Gekkerin-induced rage, mistakenly assumed to be her weakness, has subsided. But our Saber ended up undergoing a total killer-style transformation. She icily glares at the prey which foolishly returned to the lion's den.
セイバー
セイバ
Oh my god, it's literally just a switch with her. You touch that, you touch her ahoge, and it's a switch. We shudder in utter fear. Saber does not twitch a single muscle. Her doll-like pretty face has turned into something extremely terrifying.
ートサカ、パスパス。ダメだ。俺にもどうしていいかわからない。
卑怯よエミヤ君。二人で一緒に謝ろうって言ったのはそっちでしょ。
The prey goes around in circles. Finally, after seeing the Tosaka shield deployed, Emiya's shield deployed, cycle repeat for the nth time, the lion gets fed up with her antics.
シロ、リン、
Dark Saber steps in with no hesitation.
ごめんなさいセーバー。悪ふざけが過ぎました。
Using Emiya as a shield, Tosaka flees Saber's view.
想像しいな、リン。何か騒ぎ立てるほどのことがあったのか。
Saber sounds completely indifferent. The prey exchange stupefied looks.
何かって。セイバー、さっきのことだけど。
記憶にない。私にその質問はするな、シロ。
She answers plainly. It is difficult to comprehend, but Saber's not angry in the slightest, or is she?
セイバー、つかぬことを聞くけど、何か変じゃない？いつもより暴力的とか、いつもより色が
私はおかしいのか。
全然これっぽっちも変じゃない。いつも通りのセイバー。
Well, this is how they get Saber Alter into this story. She has a switch that you just pull and she changes.
ね、そうよね、エミヤ君。
I frantically nod in agreement.
ならいい。食事にしよう。それと着替える。リン、着替えを用意なさい。
はい。私のお召し物でよろしいでしょうか。
リンの服は好きだが、今日は趣向を変えてほしい。
Tosaka energetically shows Saber the way while making sure to maintain a healthy distance between them.
エミヤ君、なんとか時間を引き延ばすから、昼食の準備をお願い。腕によりをかけてね。
引き受けた。お互い命がけだな。
リン。
はい、ただいま参ります。
Oh boy, weeping Tosaka assumes the role of Saber's guide.
頼むぞ、トサカ。
No matter how much time I have, I'll never be able to cook a meal that will fully satisfy Saber. But not even Tosaka can keep stretching her patience for more than 30 minutes. Oh boy! According to Japanese legend, it was alcohol that an 8-headed giant snake Yamato no Orochi was eventually appeased with. Yeah, that's right. Meat, alcohol, and money are what's always used on those guys since ancient times. You're gonna get her drunk? This has somehow fired me up. So my cooking will be used to calm an angry giant dragon? The true worth of my cooking. Skills that I've honed over 10 years. Everything's being put to the test. Cracking
ま
it.
ずい。
Oh
わ
my
ずか半日
god.
で堕落したな、シロ。
Look at this outfit. Wow, that's a look I've never expected to see on you. That was way too harsh. I don't know what's worse, that my 10 years of cooking experience have been dismissed with a single bite, or that it was who did it was Saber, who always eats with a beaming smile. Saber of all.
エミヤ君、泣いてる。気持ちはわかるけど、今は泣くより手を動かして。
うるさい。俺の気持ちが。俺とセイバーのご飯ライフがどれだけ素晴らしかったかわかるか。安い道場はよしてくれ。
ああ、確かにわからないわ、そりゃ。オーケー。好きに泣きなさいよ、もう。
リン、そなたがたまに手を抜いて作るあれがいい。シロに手本を見せるがよい。
The king's command is heard from the living room.
あれって、もしかして、あれ？
他になかろう。マスタードは多めでな。
Is it burgers?
あれってなんだ、トサカ。今出した海鮮釜揚げご飯よりセイバー好みの料理を作れるのか？
セーバーの好みなんかじゃないけど、まあご要望とあらばレシピは教えるわ。エミヤくんなら簡単にできるだろうし。
Oh my god, is this where the Saber burger scene comes from? Tosaka opens the refrigerator with a disapproving look on her face. The ingredients are ground beef. The thumbnail is perfect!
まさかそれは。
A dirt cheap, simple food that fills one's stomach and nothing else. On top of the 3 contenders of the list of crude food that Saber hates the most, it is none other than... Oh! So people weren't joking about her hate. Oh my god, that face. They weren't joking about Saber hating burgers, but Saber Alter. A powerful rhythm echoes around the living room. My face is agape right now. I made that exactly as instructed by Tosaka. Saber does not say anything, but there's an extremely satisfied look on her face. Is that what they mean by takes a king to no one? Her Majesty Saber eating the king of junk food, a hamburger, as if it were a mere snack. Munch, 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 munch. The refrigerator is almost empty now. Grasping the gravity of the situation immediately, Tosaka brings out her bicycle for a provisioning run.
悪魔の口車に乗った罰か。遠坂があんなこと言い出さなければこんなことには。
I wonder if this is a one-scene wonder, or if we will see just scenes where Saber's ahoge flies off and or gets touched and she turns. Still weeping, I continue to make hamburgers. I'm glad that Saber's eating my cooking happily, but why hamburgers of all things?
白おかわり。次はバリューセットがいい。
A value meal? It really is like Saber to have such a vocabulary stick in her mind.
はい、少々お待ちをお客様。
I need to smile even as I'm kneading the meat. An hour passes. It's hilarious because in Japan right now there's a promotion for Fate and Big Boy, which I think is a donut company, but still. Until Saber's full, lunch does not end, and a smiles-free policy remains in force in Mikamiya's. That's true, in Japan you can ask for smiles and get one for free! Wallpaper added to the special menu. Wallpaper added. Oh my god. Wow. There's a new one with you there. Well, let's do that as the last one then for now.
ここも見ていくか。
I stop at the electronics store. On a whim, I find myself wanting to check out the latest appliances. You are so boring.
薄型大型化してるな。
A television with a particularly large screen catches my eye. One of these in our house would feel awfully out of place, wouldn't it? It's true that we have a lot of people, but none of them are big TV
いや、
watchers.
似合う以前にこんなにするんだ。手が出ないよな、これじゃ。
What? TVs being high voltage appliances? Oh! When he says get inside, I thought of Persona. But picking up a broken one to fix myself is just too dangerous. This is one thing I have no choice other than to buy new.
あ、新品って言ったらこっちも問題だった。
The VCR we have right now is so outdated, it's practically a historic artifact. It's not as though we've never had need of one so far, but I'd like to get a DVD recorder to poke around inside of too.
あれ、エミヤくんじゃない。こんなところで何してるの？
Don't you hate it when a girl visits you while you're appliance buying?
遠坂か。というか、お前の方も。
Yeah, you hate technology. Why are you here? An electronics store is the last place where I'd expect to run into this girl. If it were an antique furniture store or something, that'd be more understandable somehow.
へえ、遠坂も買い替えとか考えてるんだ。
何言ってるの？私は偶然シロを見かけたからちょっと声をかけただけよ。
そうなのか。そうだよな。
Of the products for sale here, anything more complicated than a vacuum cleaner seems like it would be out of Tosaka's range. I seem to recall that I know someone who's unable to use any device with more than 10 buttons on it. By the way, that someone is Tosaka.
エミヤ君、ひょっとして今ものすごく無礼なこと考えてない？
It's not rude if it's true.
多少は無礼かもしれない。いや、遠坂はほら。
機械苦手だって言いたいんでしょ？
Yeah.
苦手っていうか、あんまり触れようとしないだろ？あの遠ざけっぷりはアレルギー寸前というか、機械関係じゃさくらにも。
Sakura plays like League of Legends, man. Ah, she's mad. That's just how humans are. You don't know if you're speaking the truth to someone. You don't know if speaking the truth to someone will result in joy or anger.
でしろ、そういう風に私を見ていたのね。
いいじゃんか。遠坂、大抵のことはさらっと片付けるだろ。一つぐらい欠点があってもいいんじゃないか？
There's this hilarious comic that I retweeted a while ago. That's literally just like Tosaka using a laptop and clicking on every single ad on a website, like get $1,000 and doctors hate him and everything. And then Archer going, so you say that they just appeared on the computer. Which is hilarious because, yeah, Archer would be the virus buster in that house. Actually, speaking of fatal flaws, she's still got another glaring one that comes to mind, but I don't speak it out loud.
ありがとうとは言っておくわ。けど、すべてに弱点なしが我が家の理想だし、いつまでも苦手言ってられないわよね。
そっか。じゃあ少しは勉強する気でやってきたのか？
それはまた後の話よ。こういうのは綾子に教わってもっと最先端の機器になれないと。
ああ、三つ釣りは俺より情報家電関係は詳しいと思うな。
Oh, is Mitsuzuri a gamer? She used to be the captain of the archery club, and she certainly has the air of a martial artist about her, but contrary to that old-fashioned image, Mitsuzuri does keep up with the latest in game centers and stuff. Yo, she's a gamer! That, the subject of conversation fails to turn to Emiya doesn't do that, though, is somewhat annoying. According to archery club members, she can spend all night long playing simple, repetitive games.
で、三つ釣りに教わる前に予習しに来たと。
まあね、アナクロアンティーク女って思われるのも不本意だし。何も19世紀の人間じゃないから一応それなりにわかるわよ。あの辺が液晶ディスプレイでしょ？
What Tosaka's pointing to is the very same big screen liquid crystal TV I was looking at before. Good going, Tosaka. You sure got that one right. I wonder if she figured that out based on how thin it is. So, do you know the difference between plasma and LCD then? The LCD then? A question like that would likely stop her in her tracks, so I opt to keep my mouth shut.
さっき見てたけど、エミヤ君は欲しいの？
あったらいいなと思うけど、懐の余裕がない。さらに俺の家に似合わない。
Yeah, he definitely have a big CRT looking house there.
私の家にもね。あんなにするの？
Oh yeah, don't look at the cost of TVs.
ルビー20カラットくらい買えるじゃない。
Yeah, don't look at the cost of TVs. One look at the price tag makes Tosaka go pale. Having gemstones as her basis of comparison seems awfully luxurious. In my case, I'd wonder how many months worth of food budget it would take.
そうね。私たちにはミニすぎたアイテムよね。
我が家には画面が小さいことに不満を持つのはいないからな。
で、あの辺がビデオデッキ。
Oh, I like the word video deck. That's good. Tosaka's now pointing to...
残念。違う。
Oh, DVD player?
嘘！だってあの形ってビデオじゃない。
いや、あそこだろ？あれは再生専用の DVD プレイヤーだ。
I lead Tosaka over to the recording equipment section and taking a look around. I don't blame her for being confused by all this.
どういうこと？
これが再生用。こっちが HDD プラス DVD-RW。こっちが HDD プラス DVD-RAM。これが HDD 専用レコーダーで、この辺が CS デジタルの。
Hey, guess what? This is how it felt like when I was just introduced to the world of Magecraft. Get used to it, sister. In the midst of my explanation, I gradually realized that Tosaka's glaring at me with enmity. The gulf between Tosaka and I when it comes to the subject of magical knowledge on one hand and modern technical knowledge on the other is particularly apparent right now. The longer Tosaka stands here in the electronics store, the further away she somehow seems to be moving from the world.
何その呪文。
俺もかなり呪文じみてないかと思う。そのうちブルーレイと HD DVD が来るとか。
One of those survived. The other didn't. When did HD DVD die? Well, wait, when did HD DVD come out? HD DVD was originally made in 2006. Okay. And they were discontinued in 2008. Oof! Ooh, that's rough.
青い光線？ビデオはどこに？
Okay, but when did Blu-rays come out? Because I feel like Blu-ray came out. When did Blu-ray come out? I need to look. Okay. Because again, this takes place in 2006 or something, right? Blu-rays came out in 2006. Okay, so same year. Okay.
あの辺まだ需要あるからな。
You should be able to tell one by a single glance, I think, but which may be a bit harsh. It's like you take your eyes off them for a moment and suddenly the varieties multiply. It makes me nostalgic for the golden age of VHS from my childhood. Yeah, I get that, pal. I do.
これテレビを録画するものでしょ？
必ずしもそれだけじゃないけど、そんな感じだ。遠坂はやっぱりあれだな。写真を撮ると魂が奪われるって感じの。
奪えるわよ。
Oh.
レンズと印画紙にしかるべき処置を施せば素材になるわよ。
Oh.
まあ奪うんじゃなくて一時的に停止させるが正しいんだけど。
Oh, Fatal Frame was real.
デジカメでも
A what clam? Tosaka murmurs. Realizing that she doesn't even know what Digicam stands for leaves me incapable of delivering a witty comeback.
そのなんだっけ DVD?
Oh, she said it so adorably.
デジタルバーサタイルディスク略して DVD。
I did not even know that's what it stood for.
ラムと RW って言ってたけど
I don't even know
何が違
this.
うの？
I know that RW stands for read write, but what does RAM mean? Even though I was speaking so knowledgeably to her about this stuff, that one might be beyond me. I doubt I could clearly explain the difference between the two. It seems that some people can get worked up into nearly religious fervor over the finer points of these things, but having never really used either, it's outside my realm of understanding.
ごめんなさい。よくわかりません。
ほらご覧なさい。シロでもそうなら私なんかもっとわからなくて仕方ないわよ。私にしてみると最近のこういうのの方がよっぽど魔術じみてるわ。
Come to think of it, I know there was some guy who once said that sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That is a famous quote from whom I don't remember. Sufficient technology is magic. Who said that? That's from Arthur C. Clarke, from Clarke's first, one of Clarke's three laws.
なあ遠坂、悲観することはないぞ。人間 DVD がなくても生きていける。
そのうち電話やテレビみたいになんとか生きていけるって話になるわよ。まったく私もあなたも綾子に旧時代の人間だって笑われるわね。
I mean, I know I am. I can definitely imagine Mitsuzuri laughing, saying something like, "You're completely analog to her." And it's not as though she could just shoot back with, "That's because I'm a Magus after all," no matter how much she might want to.
この辺も買うとかシロも。
我が家のチャンネル争いが深刻化する前にって考えてるけど、安くはないな。
エミヤの家も大所帯になったわね。ああ、私もか。
Tosaka gives a small laugh as though she's only just realized that she too is among those people.
あと 2,3 人は収容可能だから気にするな。
エミヤくん、下宿の寮夫とかペンションのオーナーとか似合いそうよね。
She said would, but that's pretty much what I'm doing already. At any rate, when the time comes, I'm able to strike out on my own as a Magus. How will my life change from the way it is now?
そういう生活も悪くはないという気はしている。
ま、シローが隠遁する暇なんか私が与えないから安心しなさい。さて、ここにいてもすることないんだから他に行きましょう。
Osaka seems to have unilaterally decided that I'll accompany her for today. Fine with me, although I can tell I'm in for a hard time later. Didn't even get halfway through her so-called study of electronics, did she? No, not really. Did not seem like she did. Anyways, I'm gonna do that after. Instead, we'll call it a day, skip to the final night, and that'll be it. Though, let us check that new wallpaper we got. Oh. No, we had that one before. No, I need to censor it again. Great. That's new. That's cool. I like that. That's a good one. And then the other new one is... Oh, it's her with the burger! And yeah, that outfit's in Grand Order. That's adorable. That one's really cute. Although I still can't believe there's a Senran Kagura one. Like, that blows my mind. Wait, I can't believe I have to censor it again. Oh, it's not going to be fun. Alright, guys. Next time. Doing more. We're almost at the point where we can actually start hitting the main plot again. Just kidding. It's never going to happen. What percentage am I even at? I'm at 82. That was 2%. Oh boy. Oh boy. We'll see you guys next time for some more then. Ciao.